I see people are slowly joining. It's all right. Just let me know if you can hear me, but I think everything should be all right. And we will go straight to the charts because I got some setup prepared, what I see on the Bitcoin. So we will see how it's going to be forming. And probably without further ado, I will probably go straight to my ByBit, right? So here is a setup which I want to enter right now, and I will actually explain you also on the higher time frame. But at this moment, I want to see if I will get some reaction in here on this level, right? And so that's how I'm starting. It wasn't in a plan to straight away put a setup, but I think this could play, and so that's why I'm going to open a trade now. Of course, everything is just a probability, right? And I can lose, so I'm not risking too much in this trade. I can actually increase a little bit, right? So we can risk 300 for the potential 1,000 profit, which is 1, 2, 3, right? So currently the price is on my level, which is this order block in here, and I do not want to enter blindly like right now, but I want to see on the 1 minute that the price will start to at least reject in here, right? So I'm watching, and we will see once we get some candle rejecting, moving higher, closing at least above the last one, right? That would be a signal for me to enter the market. So I got everything prepared in here to enter bit for the market price, and we will see how is it going to be developing, and if we enter or not, right? So we can see so it's not shared screen. Okay, I'm sorry. All right, so now we are sharing. All right, I'm very sorry, guys. So yeah, so this is the setup, and we will be watching it in here if we get a reaction in here, right? So meanwhile, I'm of course watching it on my second screen in here also, and meanwhile I will explain you what is my thought process in here and what I'm actually looking for, right? So let's go to the higher time frame. Let's go to 4 hours. Or you know what, let's actually watch it for a while in here. And I think we probably could take this risk, right? I do not want to go 1 second time frame, right? That would be too low for me. But yeah. Okay, so let's go to the 1 hour. And here is what I'm actually seeing, right? So let me move it to the 4 hours actually. Right, and in here, wait a second, actually I got it from the daily, so sorry, from here, right? So in here we had this range for me, this is my range, right? Let me adjust a little bit, and I need to remove these settings. Right, so we got this range in here, and the price actually manipulated below these lows, right? So I'm expecting price to reach these highs, right? Because we have also this strong candle in here, right? So from the daily, I'm dropping lower time frame, and we can see in here this strong candle again, right? With this gap, right? Now we have consolidation and manipulation lower, and when I'm going through 1 hour, we can see that also here is created actually another range, right? This one. This is our range. And now, once we have it manipulated with this second candle, this green one, now we can look for the potential move higher, right? So I'm dropping lower time frame again in here. I go 5 minutes, right? And in here, where was this manipulation, I'm looking for the order block, which is this down candle here on the 1 minute, right? And yeah, so there I'm basically waiting for the potential price move higher into these highs, right? So that's how simple it is, and we can actually extend it into the higher highs, right? So I think that that could be happening in here, and I'm basically going to long right now, right? So we will see. I'm in the position, right? And let's see if it goes there or not, right? My stop loss, I always put the stop loss a little bit lower below this manipulated low, right? And the reason is that basically if this low was once manipulated, maybe the price doesn't have to go there anymore, right? So now we will see how it goes, right? Always have in your mind that it basically is just a probability, right? And every trade could end up in loss, right? This is how I'm always entering my trades, with the potential outcome that it can be a loss, right? So basically every outcome of the trade is always uncertain. That's why trading is not for everyone, right? Because this uncertainty is kind of a difficult in this business, and sometimes you spend a lot of time with the trading and you basically don't make money, right? That could be such a days also. And yeah, so now we will be just waiting what's gonna happen in here, if it will go higher, right? Or if it will be a deeper pullback, and we could be, of course, stop out, right? So that's what we will see probably very soon, right? The time is quite good. There was potentially a low created on the New York session open, right? We have moved higher, pullback, right? Also, if we use FIP, that would be somewhere around a 61.8 FIP, right? So let's see how far it goes. Yeah. Meanwhile, if anyone has some questions, you basically can drop them, and I will be happy to answer, right? So we can see it starts to move a little bit higher, right? In here. And we're just watching and waiting. Just a 1 minute, right? So that's not a big move yet. All right. If anyone has a questions, I'll be happy to answer. So now we are just watching and looking how it's gonna play. Meanwhile, I can update the chart in here, right? So we have this range in here. Our stop loss should be safe below these lows, right? We will see. We will see. Meanwhile, we can look actually to some other pairs and try to do some analysis if we get something else. I quite like I actually want to show you a setup on the Doge, right? Because there is a higher time frame setup. Right, so this is a Doge, and I will show you how I'm looking to the analysis when I'm doing the analysis completely from the scratch, right? So this Bitcoin trade is meanwhile running. I don't know why I don't see a positions in here. Okay, they are here, right? So it's going to be all right. Positions in here, right? So this is our position, and it's somehow developing, right? So we will see how it's gonna end. We will update later, right? Now I want to show you what I'm going to do here on the Doge and why I think that this could be a potential level from where we could go higher, right? So let me move the charts like that. We got it higher. And what I always like to do, let me bring my analysis from the second chart. Right, so what I always like to do is to start from the higher time frame, right? And sometimes I use also a 3 months time frames. Not sure if is it in here. All right, so let's try. All right, so they doesn't offer in here. All right, doesn't matter. So we can draw it manually, right? So basically, I'm looking for the higher time frame range, right? So again, it's going to be a big candle, right? So this is my range candle, right? This big time frame candle, right? That's what I'm always looking for. What potentially happened in here, right? If you remember, it was a few months ago. It was actually in the November, just right after the elections when the Trump won, right? Everyone was bullish in here. There was a prediction, Doge to the $1, $10, right? And everyone FOMOed into the trade in here, right? So what then happened? Price has dropped lower below these lows, right? And we need to find a level in here. So this is basically below this candle, below this big up candle. This is basically our liquidity, right? So that's where the price has come, right? And now we are looking for the push back inside, right? So I'm dropping to the lower time frame in here, and again in here we are seeing that this range was manipulated and price is now closing inside, right? We want to see this week close inside, and once that happen, we could look for the potential move higher, right? What I like in here is that we're getting straight this quite strong candle in here, but still not closing above some significant highs, right? So we need to wait for a while and see if it will give us a setup. Where would be a potential target in here? What I'm always doing is I'm actually using these ranges, right? So 50% of that range, right? Which is actually, you can see how perfectly it is fitting with this nice level in here, right? Which is around this fair value gap also, right? So let's check. So I think that Doge could go quite high based on this analysis, right? I see that probably we are going to lose on this Bitcoin trade. Let's see how it goes. All right, it's going down, so we could be stopped out, right? Always waiting until the stop loss, right? Because that's how I entered the trade, and that's what I count with, right? So not gonna close earlier because of the fear, right? That's what was my risk, and I always keep the trade until the stop loss, right? Which we will might get in here, right? Let's try to look on high time frame where we could go. Right, where is it heading? All right, so we are stopped out. Not big deal, right? Always need to be risk management in the play, right? So we could potentially reach this 50% of this gap, right? That's what would be a next potential level, right? So does it mean that I'm going to short right now? Well, it does not mean, right? Because I don't like to short lows, right? So I'm going to delete everything in here, and we know where we're going down, right? So yeah, stopped out, not big deal, that's happening. We're waiting, and I need to highlight that level again, right? So that would be another potential level in here, right? So let's wait. What is gonna print, right? So if we now can predict that we potentially could reach this level, right? So for the intraday trading, we could look potentially for the short, right, on the lower time frame, but from where we would be shorting, right, from the higher levels, right, from the levels where was basically always looking for the big candle, right, or the block candle for the potential short, right? So if that happens, then we could get short in here, right? Something like that, right? So now the price is where? On the lows, right? So what's my rules is never sell low, right? Never buy high. So if the price is going down, I'm not gonna try to FOMO or catch it, right? My plan would be right now only to wait for the potential short, right? Or if it comes down here into the level and creates again the setup with the big candle, right? And then manipulation of that candle, then we could look for the long into the level, into this level, right? So we basically need to trade only from the levels, not here, right? Because where I would put my stop loss here, I would need to have a quite high stop loss without a good risk reward, right? So let me clean this. And now we're waiting. Can set up alarm. All right, I got alarms on my other screen. Okay, so what about the Solana? How does it look in here? Right, also similar setup in here. I personally think that we could see bounce somewhere close to here, right? On the higher time frame for sure. Right, so let me show you. This candle is the range, right? So we draw the range. Now let me edit. I don't like here. Why is it not like this? Right, let me also remove this. Right, so on the monthly, on the Solana, what I'm seeing in here is this range which is being manipulated, and we need to see close inside, right? Here is our level. We're bouncing from that. Now we go daily, right? And you can see we have bounced from this level. And again, here is a range which was manipulated, and now price is heading higher, right? Question is if it's going to happen today, right? So let's drop lower time frame, right? And our potential expectations would be to reach these highs, right? So we need to find a level from where we will potentially go in there, right? So for me, it would be this order block, right? because that's where was the big down candle, right? Dipping below some lows and then explosive move higher, right? So for me, that would be a level from where we could potentially take a trade. How that Bitcoin looks like. Right, going lower. Right. On the 1 minute, it's a waterfall. So there's room for going lower on the Solana. So we could actually intraday took some short, right? Again, and it would be this level was rejected in here. So those who shorted in here were stopped out, and those who entered long in here are maybe trapped in the long in here, right? So now price going lower, and we could be potentially taking shorts, right, from here, right? Let's check on the higher time frame on M15. Right, so it's this up candle which has taken these highs. That would be a potential level for the short, right? So something like that, right? And again, we can just wait. You can see that the highs and lows of the sessions are quite often created around it is on the New York time, it is, I think, a 9 o'clock, right? 8 a.m. New York time, if I'm right. Let me just double check. Right, 10 a.m. 10 a.m. New York time, after the New York session open, right? So we actually joining the stream once it already did the best entries. We missed a little bit, but we will see. Maybe we will cook something. Bitcoin going down. This is going down, right? For the short, would like to see at least some pullback, right? Not joining this. So I'm not trading the breakout. Maybe some traders do, and it could be profitable, of course, but it's not good for me, right? So we would be waiting for the pullback. However, we will see if it's gonna happen. Let me check some other pairs. All right. So what you trading, guys? What you trading? Tell me. Anyone can tell me what you're trading, what you're looking for, what pairs, what coins? Okay, maybe the correction will be happening now. So we will see. Okay. We have some questions. You also tried lower time frame. Yeah, yeah. I'm actually not really the day trader. Not really doing the day trading. I'm a more swing trading and like 4 hours and daily, weekly ranges, right? So uh, that would be really difficult to do a stream on the 4 hours, right? Because you basically enter the trade and then we could be looking to ourselves for hours and hours and waiting if something will happen or or um, maybe that could be a day when there is not entry, right? Because as a swing trader and also as a day trader, you should not have a there's no situations for the trades every day, right? Like a day trading really doesn't mean trading every day, right? So yeah, I dropped to the lower time frame, and that's actually something what I want to start to focus more, so we can do proper streams together. And that's something what I really like recently, because swing trades is of course something what you can simply open, and stay in the trades. But I think in the day trading, give 1 to 2 hours a day do some scalping and intraday. It's really interesting also, right? So that's what I would be focusing. I need to a little bit adjust myself, but I think it's not going to be difficult, because price is fractal, and everything what's working on the weekly, daily, 4 hours, you simply drop it, right? So what you need to do, you always need to have a few time frames which works for you as your top-down analysis, and you simply drop them this fractal, and you go lower time frame, right? So price action is always same, and what you can see on the 1 hour, these same candles can be happening on the monthly, right? There's no difference, right? Basically, if you have strategy, you should be able to trade it on any time frame. If it is not strategy based on the time, like on the days of the week, right, or on the specific times in a day, then you should be able to trade it on any time frame, right? So yeah, we will see, and definitely want to start to focus to the day trading also. Let's all right, we can see Bitcoin going down. We'll be reaching that level in here. Maybe it will do that bounce, right? So let's see. So how are you thinking to enter the long here on the BTC, right? Yeah. So on the BTC, if we speak about a higher time frame analysis, what I got on my higher time frame analysis, right, is this. Let me take you to the monthly, right? I always start with the monthly. It's important for me, right? On the monthly, let me delete, right? I have this range, right? This is my range where I'm going to play. We can see that the range price dropped lower, right? And also price manipulated this range one time, second times, right? We are inside of it, right? Now I'm going to drop to the weekly, and in here I can see we got a fair value gap, right? This gap. So let me highlight it for you. this gap. That's the level which confirms that we could bounce from here, right? Let me edit a little bit. Okay, we'll leave it like that. Why I think this level is good to enter, right? Because always you need to look for the measure it with Fibonacci, right? You need to see, you want to be buying at least below a 50%. If same setup is happening somewhere in here, it would not be that valid like this one, which is happening in here, right? Because from this low, and why is this low important? Because this low has taken this liquidity in here, right? So from here to here, I measure Fib to this high, and we can see that price has made pullback 50% of this swing, right? So that means that there is a potential chance to going higher, right? Same thing has happened in here, right? Look, this low has taken liquidity in here. If you measure it here, right, you can see that then you're looking for the level below 50% and the price simply go up from there, right? So mostly the pullbacks are at least 50%, right? So once the price start to make a pullback in here, you should not be looking for the longs until it reaches at least a 50%, right? So that's happening right now, and that's why I think that we have a chance for the bounce in here, right? So we have this range. Let me also remove this trend line, which is annoying for me. And also in here is another range, this one, right? So we have actually two ranges in here, right? So one range overlapping another one. And let me also make it a little bit nice, these drawings with these colors. Let me do purple. Right, and another one in here. Right, so we have this one, which is the monthly. We are on the monthly low, and we have this daily range. This daily range, which is being manipulated in here, and price is closing inside, right? If we're trading from the daily, we need to drop to the 1 hour time frame, right? So on the 1 hour time frame, I want to see a change in the order flow or the order block, right? So as we have this manipulation in here, right, what we want to see is change in order flow. So these all down candles, right, it's a order block. So from here, right, this latest one, this is the level, right? So price actually break through this recent high, right, create a shift in the market structure, right, retested this order block and start to expanding, right? So now we can be looking for another leg higher, right? If this is a low and if this is not a manipulation, which we cannot know, right? But we have all the confluences which are telling us that it could be a possibility, right? So again, right now, what we're gonna do? We again should be looking for this pullback of the 50%, right, in here, right? So we got 50% in here, and here is a order block. This down candle before expansion, which broke through some highs, right? So that would be our level, this down candle, right? And as you can see, this down candle is also in confluence with this. Let me make this line bigger, with this monthly level, right? So let me take you back to the monthly in here, right, with this one, right? So this level could be supportive now, right? So let's go back down to the 1 hour, right? And this would be a potential level for the entry in here, right, below a 50%, right? So basically, if you look at it right now, what we should do, we should simply wait, right, for the higher time frame trade, right? Or in the intraday, of course, there could be some trades for the long side, right? All right, so now we're waiting, and yeah, price is going down probably to this 50% or into this order block, right? So this gap will be probably filled, right? That's higher chance that it's going to happen. So in the intraday, as we have now drawn this map for the intraday, what we can do? We can trade short, right? Set potentially from here. Not sure if it's going to make a pullback, right? Or maybe from here. If the price comes back in here and start to do rejections, right? Now we are on the M15, right? So once the price comes back down here, we can drop to the 1 minute. And on the 1 minute, we need to look for the change in order flow, right? Which would be, again, the candle which closing, the down candle which would be closing below those up candles, right? So that's what we can play in here. And now currently we can just wait, right? Because if I want to short right now, right, I see high probability that probably the price will drop into this level or maybe even into this one, right? Or most likely what can happen is, what is this drawing tool? Give me a second. Here, right? Or it can do something like this, this, and this, right? So currently, if I know that it's going down, I'm not going to be stupid and short here, right? For what? For just taking the price down here? But I will put stop loss. You always need to hide your stop loss behind some highs, right? So here, that would be stupid, right? That's not what would you, how would you take your risk, right? That's a very bad risk reward, right? Also, should I be taking long from here, from this 50% level? No, it's not a level, right? It's just a 50% of the range. Here is a level, right? So what's my chances in here? If I get a pullback up here, right, and then potential short down, then that's possible, right? Something like that. Or waiting for the price to form a long here around 78 325, right? You always need to play on the levels, not in the middle. Not in the middle. Okay, so I was doing the Solana. It's going to be probably same because we can see everything is dropping at this moment, right? Yeah. By the way, with these setups, in the recent okay, let's go trading view. Oh, wait a second. I want to show you there is a setups which actually we've been talking about in the recent stream, and yeah, here is actually the setup which I'm watching on the Doge, right? So I can show you in here. So I have this 3 months range, right? Price has dropped below a 50% of this range. I got a level in here, right? And I got these two ranges in here, right? So I'm expecting that the price, it has moved higher and we are now in this daily range, right? So I think that the low can be forming in here, and we could see potentially move higher into 50% of this range, right? And this is a setup which I'm always looking for on all my charts, right? And here is a Bitcoin. And again, this is this monthly range, right? Then price manipulated lower, right? And in here, I'm expecting price going higher, right? So we can see it has bounced a little bit in here, right? And now we have put, if this weekly candle close inside this range, then next week, this low of this range could be supportive, right? And we could see a move higher, right? This is how it looks on the diagram, right? So we have the big candle, manipulation, then closing inside, and then expansion, move higher, right? And I want to show you those analyses which actually we've been talking about in a stream the 14 2 weeks ago, 14 days ago, right? So here was a Doge, right? And we had actually, again, we have this range, right? Price drop lower into the level, and also we have another daily range in here, right? So I have seen the manipulation in here, and then my expectation was that the price can reach the 50% of that range, right? That's always my first target. Then in the extension, we could potentially go higher, right? And this is how it played, right? So this is what we've been talking in that stream last time, right? So the price basically closed inside, moved inside that higher time frame range, and you can see how in here it was supporting, right? And then it moved exactly into the 50% of that range, right? Yeah, then the price dropped lower, and now we can see that this level again is supporting, right? But that's the moment when we need to do a new analysis, right? Then we had actually SUI also we've been talking about, right? And again, same thing, right? We have range, we have manipulation, we have key level, right? Price start to move inside. If it's not inside the range, I'm still not interested. But once it closes inside here, right, then I'm waiting for the retest, right, and targeting 50% of that range, right? This trade, it was a little bit painful because it was a long range, but look how it worked, right? So again, we see a retest, right, ranging, right? If we extend this range, you see how supportive it was, and then expansion move into this 50%, right? This was what we've been talking about in the recent streams. Was there another one? No, these ones are old ones. Yeah, this was the actually Solana. I was looking for the similar thing in here, right? Again, range, manipulation, and predicting if it closed inside, then waiting for the retest and reaching 50%, right? It did not happen exactly in here, but look, we traded inside, the range has supported, right? And price has moved higher. It did not reach exactly, but I took some profit in here, right? So this approach, I love it because it's simply mechanical, right? I simply always look for the same thing, right? Here is my Bitcoin analysis, which I did in the February. I was expecting price to drop lower down here, right? Why? Because if we measure from this low to this high, right, it's that Fibonacci, 50%, and then we are looking for the price to drop below that 50%, right? We always looking for the 50%. So you can be bearish all the time until it reaches the 50%, right? So that's, you see, this is where we are right now, right? So, and from here, I'm expecting price to go higher, right? We will see if it's gonna play. But these simple things, these simple tips, which I'm giving you right now, unfortunately didn't show a profitable trade in the intraday, but these small tips, if you apply them into your trading analysis and trading result, it gives you a nice roadmap where you can play, right? All right, so here is something quite similar, right? This is a Bitcoin from the 2020 when we actually broke this pattern, retested, and then big expansion has come, right? It's something which I have seen that is quite similar in here, right? So we will see if we're gonna get this on the Bitcoin. So what you think, guys? Let me know. All right, so let's go back to the charts. And yeah, so on the higher time frame, we would wait on the day. On the lower time frame, which we're looking for now, this is beautiful waterfall down, right? However, we started stream when it was already going, and that's not exactly when I want to be entering, right? What is CLS? Yeah, what is CLS? That's a good question. CLS is basically, I can actually show you on their website, right? And that's what I'm planning to show you in the next streams. There is a CLS net and accept right here. It's this company. You can look to the website, right? It's a company which is trading huge capital, not only in forex but also in the crypto, right? Because of course big market makers are in all the markets, and they basically trading more than 6 trillions on the daily volume. And let me show you. You can play this video for yourself later. This is what they're doing, right? They basically collecting the orders for the big institutions, and then they put it into the market. I will show you for who they actually trading. Products. Give me a second. I'll find it for you. CLS net about. This is basically a market operator, I would say, right? But they trading for the. Let me show you. Members. CLS settlement members. Here. This company is trading for these institutions. This is the banks, right? Bank of America, Bank Milan, Barclays, Citi, Goldman Sachs, Deutsche Bank, HSBC, you name it, right? You can see all the big banks, right, and hedge funds. But this is not all of them, right? There is a much more of them. There is a complete settlement list, right? You can see in here. So you can check by yourself. And why would actually these all banks trade against each others when they can use some kind of company like a CLS which do that for them, right? So my thesis is that this company is the only one who can move the market and create those big candles, right? Question is it in the crypto? Well, as you can see, we have already the Bitcoin ETF, Ethereum ETF, right? So they are definitely in the Bitcoin, right? They're probably not in some shit coins, right? But as I have the question in here, as I trade the Forex, yes, I'm coming from the Forex originally, from the past 10 years. But since I applied same price action, same principles to the crypto, it's basically working, right? So I think that they will be definitely, because I've been looking on their website and blockchain, right? And if you check the blockchain, they basically do the blockchain things also, right? I'm not sure if I will find it right now in here. CLS group crypto, right? You can check by yourself, right? And you will find that trusted market solution, right? Not only FX, they doing also the crypto, right? So here you can see it also. Look, they trade 7 trillion daily volume, right? That's a huge. This is a market maker, right? Those of you who probably knows a ICT, as he's saying that he coded some algo, this is the algo which he is saying that he coded, but he didn't, right? This is the thing which he is talking about, and it's the thing, right? So yeah, he didn't code anything, and this is the thing which he is talking about, and it's around all the markets, right? Okay, so here is another questions. If USD, do you also trade forex? Which do you classify as a shitcoins? Like, well, you know, what would be a shitcoin, right? Basically, those who had really bad tokenomics, right, were more than 50% of the whole, even more than 50%. There's these coins like a bread, right, or with, right? These things, if you look to the what is the website? It's some DEX, I don't remember right now. You can see that there is more than 80% of the whole market cap is owned, let's say, by 10 wallets, right? So that's definitely just these meme coins scams, right? And there is no other use case than pump and dump, right? So that's what I call shitcoins, right? This is for me shitcoins, right? Which do I saw one bank I was in Altin 2 years ago shown. Which do classify? Yes. Yes, here is someone asking about the Tesla analysis you've seen on my trading view. Yes, I am actually trading also some, or rather I would say investing, right, into the Tesla MicroStrategy, and I like some AI companies like Nvidia, Palantir, right? I think it's a future and it has a potential, right? So basically using trading for the generating money and income, but also investing, like long-term buying the Bitcoin. Actually, I had my first buys very long time ago. I don't know if I've shown you, or I think I was showing that in the last stream, right? So where was it? Right, so my first buys of the Bitcoins was here. It was back in 2020, right? So I analyzed the bottom of here, in here, right? And this is how it goes since then, right? So quite not bad. And in that time, I had just 1.5 BTC, right? But I traded some in, some out, bought some more, right? And yeah. But Bitcoin, I would say that we going much, much higher. So what's the next question? Look into inch, right? Okay, I'm going to check the inch, what we see in here. Inch. All right, so let's start with the daily at least, right? Okay, nothing. Let's go weekly. This is kind of something what I really like in here, right? because right, this looks like a good level in here for me, because we are on the level where we had strong expansion, right, and price basically pulled back all the way down into the level, right? So this is a great tip. And then we got a level, right? So then we're looking for what? Looking again to find my range, right? As I'm looking for these ranges, right, which could be this one, right, range. So it's on the weekly. Now I need to go to the 4 hours, right? On the 4 hours, we want to see a change in order flow, right? So it's basically here, right, closing back in the range, right, respecting this range low, right, in here, which is happening in here, and then we are here on this 50%, right? So what's the next potential trade? Next potential trade would be a pullback to the 61.8 FIP and targeting all these highs, right? I got prepared, I'm preparing some slides which I can show you next time, and here if I put this 61.8, right, which is around here, and it's in confluence with, again, with this down candle before this expansion, right, here I would be looking for the long, right, because it's as per my trading plan, as per what I'm basically trading in here, right? So from here and targeting this high, right? And yeah, and this is actually a very good trade also, right? If you have this manipulation of the range, right, then you got retest of this range and targeting this 50%. It's very nice trade. I actually had amazing trade. Let me show you. I'm documenting everything here on my trading view, but also of course giving it into my journal, and here is what the trade I had actually, right? So this is what I'm looking for on the higher time frame, right? But here is my trade. Let me show you, right? So this is basically what I was looking for, the reaction on this lower time frame daily range, and here is how I traded, right? So I basically entered in here on this change on the order flow, and I've been targeting this 50%, right? There I made this 10K, right? So that's the one trade, and then you're waiting for the pullback on the 61.8 FIP and targeting the whole range, right? But these ones are very powerful because it mostly have very expansive move, right? And it's the first shift in the order flow, right? So once you're getting this manipulation below this range, you can basically expect expansive move, and you are in the trade before the market shift, right? So it's beautiful scalps, right? That's something what I tried today on that Bitcoin, but it didn't work right. So that's basically would be a same trade. You can see it's same trade, right? So you have the range, you have the retest, and then the price went into this 50%, right? That's basically completely same thing which you can see in here, right? You have the range, manipulation, price closed inside, right, and went into the 50%, right? That's completely same thing. That's what I do. That's very simple, mechanical, not overcomplicated, right? You just need to drill this over and over, and this is how you learn it, right? Because trading, because you don't learn trading but by knowing some one radical information, but by small steps applied and repeated, right? And this repetitiveness leads to the excellence, right? So yeah, and now here the possibility for this model number 2, right, which would be like this from the 61.8, right, where I would put stop loss, right, below this range, below this low, and also as this is a order block, right, you don't need to put low, below, completely below this low, right? Again, I always like to use these ranges, right? So in here, I again measure this order block, 50% of that, and I put stop loss just here, right? So it gives you still a better risk reward ratio, right? You can frame your trade like this, right? That's what I would take in here, right? If we get the chance to do that, that looks good to me. What was the another pair? H bar, XRP, Fartcoin. Okay. H bar. Again, look, going to do completely same thing, right? But not sure if we are on the level, right? So what I'm gonna do, I'm going to measure this expansion, right? We are below a 50%, right? Do I see something on the monthly? Not really, but what I see is actually this could be a fair value gap, right? And this could be also the range, right? Quite nice range in here, right? And we have manipulated this range. We are back inside. So if we are on the monthly, our time frame for the entry will be daily, right? And on the daily, we need to see change in order flow, which is actually happening in here, right? We have this down candle, right? And this one is closing above. And if you want to go even deeper, you have another daily candle in here, right? So if you have this daily candle and here was this manipulation, then if you dropped to the 1 hour, right, of this smaller range, you would have a trade in here, right? Again, manipulation of this daily range, closing inside, right? Sharp move to the 50%, right? And even this one went exactly to that high, right? Which is this thing, right? I'm not sure if I can zoom it. No, where is it? So here, right? So you have the range, manipulation, expansion, right? Look. You have range, manipulation, and then that expansion, right? Okay, so that's on the daily. Right, and again in here it's forming that we could potentially go up here, right? So what does it mean for us as if we want to speak about a day trading, right? Does it, as a day traders, we do not want to stay in that trade, but what is giving us this information in here? We have basically manipulation in that range. We are back inside, right? And now we have a chance that the price will play that model number 1, right? So that could potentially go up here. And it's daily, right? So what does it mean? If it will go up, we will be looking for the same setup. We will be looking for such ranges, manipulations, and going up, right? So you would be looking for, as the price action is developing, you will be looking for these big down candles, which probably that market manipulator as this CLS can create, right? And you will be drawing your ranges in here, right? There would be few of them will potentially happen, right? You can screenshot this. I'm not sure if it's going to be in here, right? And then again, you can be entering in here and then you're waiting. Manipulation, right? Then close inside and expansion, right? Then you don't do anything because you don't want to trade on the high, right? And then if the price action give you again big down candle, right? Manipulation, right? Close inside and then expansion, right? And you're doing it until it reaches this 50%, right? So doing the analysis on the higher time frame, even if you are a day trader, gives you a roadmap for the next future move, right? And it can help you to frame your trade. And basically, if you trading a lower time frame, right? Imagine this is a daily manipulation candle, and you can drop lower, and here will be even the 1 hour, and it gives you the potentiality to use this fractal from the lower time frame, entry with small stop loss and target on the daily, right? And that's how you can take 1 to 5 risk reward trades and 1 to 10, these big ones, right? These monsters. This is how it plays, right? All right, my friends. So it's 6 o'clock in here, and I'm going to stop it here. Unfortunately, we didn't have a trade in here, but I hope that at least I gave you some valuable informations. And are you found it? Yes, found that. Just curious. Yes, yeah, I think I answered all the questions. So I will stop it for now. And I'm also in the Discord, so you can ask anything in there regarding this strategy, right? Okay, my friends. So I will stop it here. Take care. Bye bye.